Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial on density. Now let's have a look at the definition of density. Well, the density of a substance is its mass per unit volume. And the formula is simply mass divided by volume. Now for compound measures, it's always good practice to remember these triangles as they inform you of three formulas in one. In other words, to find density, you cover it up and you can see it's mass divided by volume. To find mass, you cover it up, so it's density multiplied by volume. And to find volume, it's simple. It's simply mass divided by density. So remembering the triangle is a super easy way to remember three formulas in one. Now for density, you aren't just required to remember this formula, but it's also important that you remember other formulas associated with volume. For this tutorial, you're only required to use the formula for the volume of a prism. But it is good practice for you to also memorize as many formulas which aren't given to you in the formula book to work out volume. So let's have a look at an exam question. Here the question states that the diagram shows a solid triangular prism and the prism is made of metal. The mass of the metal is 2,970 grams. We're asked to calculate the density of the prism. Now remember, the formula for density is mass over volume. So we can work out the volume based on our diagram. Well, to work out the volume, it's the cross-sectional area, 12 times 5 divided by 2, multiplied by its length, which is 15. So therefore, the volume of this solid is 450 centimeters cubed. Now we know the volume and we know the mass, we can work out the density. So, substituting in, 2,970 divided by our 450 gives us a density of 6.6 grams per centimeters cubed, because our mass is in grams and our volume is in centimeters cubed. So let's have a look at a harder question. Here the question says the densities of two different liquids A and B are in the ratio of 19 to 22. We know the mass of 1 centimeters cubed of liquid B is 1.1 grams. We also know 5 centimeters cubed of liquid A is mixed with 15 centimeters cubed of liquid B to make 20 centimeters cubed of liquid C. We're asked to work out the density of liquid C. Now, firstly, we know the densities of A to B is in the ratio of 19 to 22. Well, that means the density is 19 grams per centimeters cubed for A to 22 grams per centimeters cubed for B. Now, because we're given the density of B would be the mass divided by the volume, we know the mass is 1.1 divided by 1 gives me the density of B to be 1.1 grams per centimeters cubed. So therefore, 1.1 grams per centimeters cubed for B would be 0.95 grams per centimeters cubed for A, because all we did was simply divide by 20. So dividing by 20 enables us to find the density of A. Now we know the density of B. Let's work out its mass for 15 centimeters cubed of liquid B. Well, to work out mass, we know its density multiplied by volume. So it's our 1.1 times 15, which gives me the mass of B to be 16.5 grams for 15 centimeters cubed. Now we know the density of B, let's use the density of A. Well, I know the density of A is 0.95 grams per centimeters cubed. So now let's work out its mass. Well, its mass of 5 centimeters cubed would simply be the density multiplied by our volume, so it's 0.95 times our 5. Working this out identifies the mass of 5 centimeters cubed of liquid A to be 4.75 grams. Now remember, we're asked to work out the density of liquid C. So to work out density, we know it's mass divided by volume. Well, the total mass would be our 4.75, add our 16.5, over the 15 centimeters cubed, add to our 5 centimeters cubed, which is 20. So therefore, the density of C is 1.0625 grams per centimeters cubed. So now let's have a look at another exam question. It says Ibrahim mixes 74 grams of lead and 126 grams of tin to make 200 grams of an alloy. Lead has a density of 11.34 grams per centimeters cubed, and tin has a density of 7.31 grams per centimeters cubed. We're asked to work out the density of the alloy and give our answer correct to 1 decimal place. See if you can use the relevant formulas and give it a go, and press pause if you need. So let's start by looking at lead first. Well, we know the mass and we know the density, so let's work out the volume. To work out the volume using our triangle, it's mass divided by density. So our mass is 74 divided by our density, which is 11.34, so that means I know the volume of lead is 6.53 centimeters cubed. So now let's look at tin. Well, we know the mass of the tin and we know the density of the tin. So let's work out the volume. Well, the volume is mass divided by density. Substituting what we now know the volume of the tin to be 17.23 centimeters cubed. Now let's work out the density of the entire alloy. Now to work out density, remember it's simply mass divided by volume. So we know the total mass because it's 74 add 126 divided by, now we know our total volume, which is 6.53 add our 17.23. We can work out the density to be 8.4 grams per centimeters cubed. So in summary, it's important to know the formulas associated with density. Not just the triangle, which gives us 3 formulas in one, but also the different formulas associated with volume. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below and subscribe to this channel so you'll be the first to know when we release our next videos.